throughout the search process?
Sure. So I want to talk a little bit about if you're looking to change a career and go into a new organization. So really what you do is be very strategic. So the first thing you want to do is think about what's important to you in your next organization. Is it location? Is it their mission, their values, benefits package? What is really important to you? And from there, start putting together a very specific and succinct list of 25 plus organizations that you want to target.
Good, so kind of identify companies that you're excited about that may perhaps align to what your mission and passions are. That's awesome advice. Yeah. Sam, what do you think?
I think that also, in addition to making your list of the 25 companies, it's very important that you sit down and reflect and really understand what is it that you're looking for. When we get into this, job searching and new career and I want to do all these things, it's very important to understand what are you good at and where would you fit. There's so many companies, wonderful organizations, within the market where you will be an amazing fit. So try to make sure that you reflect and you have a very cold mind to understand this process.
So it sounds like it's a good opportunity to get real with yourself, right? And make sure that you really know what your skill sets are, potentially what some of your shortcomings might be or areas that you could do well to develop, as well as what you're really passionate about. Because how important is it to work for an organization that you feel really aligned with, that every day you're passionate about coming into work? Man, we spend a lot of hours working, so why not make sure that we are doing something that's really going to be exciting and give back to us as well? So Felicia, let's talk a little bit more about some of those logistics in job search process.
Sure. So wanted to talk a little bit about, we were saying put together a list of 25 companies that you want to target. How are you going to do that? Where can you find this information and how can you research it? The best thing you can do, go to the company website. They have all of their mission, their values, leadership team, there's news articles, so any valuable information is going to be on that website. And I know there's probably tons of other places you can find this information, which Sam will probably allude to, but I think that's the number one place to start.
Awesome. I agree with Felicia. I think the company website, LinkedIn, is another wonderful tool, and you get to know who works there. So,
what about like associations or groups, maybe groups on LinkedIn, professional associations? What do you guys think about that as far as utilizing that in the job search process?
Sure. So, definitely within the IT realm, it's great to really position yourself with groups and meetups. So meetups is kind of the cool thing to do in IT. So if you're interested in robotics, go to a robotics meetup. If you're interested in UI development, go to that meetup. Find other people that have the same passion as you and get to know them.
So it's kind of like building or expanding that network that you might already have. I love that. And then when I'm building my network and expanding it, like how can I use my network to help me?
I think that it's all about connecting, Cathi. Make those new connections, make those new friends. Don't be afraid and raise your hand.
Mm-hmm.
We are here to help each other. So anybody that can give you any advice, any tips, I'm pretty sure it's a done deal. So
yeah. So if I know somebody in my network, perhaps I'm connected with them on LinkedIn, it's okay to reach out to them and maybe ask for some advice or some assistance. Say I have a friend or maybe an acquaintance that works for a company that's on my list of companies I'm interested in. Is it okay to reach out to them too?
Absolutely.
Even better. What better way to get some insider information than to talk to your network? See if they're interested. One thing that I've always heard, Anvil Deacon here, she said that by nature, we all want to help each other.
Right.
So why not do that? Why not ask? The worst that can happen is they tell me no.
Yeah, so true. I love that idea. Awesome. So we talked about some resources. So if I've put my information out there and I have gone to the company website and maybe they have a position that I'm interested in and it wants me to send my information to them via an online process.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like and what should I expect?
You are going to expect an online application. But with that being said, I think there are a couple of different ways you can still showcase and be unique. There's a lot of open-ended questions where you can actually put a summary of your duties. You can expand on an essay kind of question. That is the perfect opportunity. So not bullet points there because that's already in your resume. That's where you actually need to tell the story.
Good. So really telling your story, it sounds like it's really vitally important. And there's ways to perhaps do that even if it's through the online communication. Fantastic.
I wanted to add just a quick thing to Sam is not always are you asked to upload a resume and cover letter. 100% of the time, put that in there and make sure it's catered to the position you're actually applying for. Make it very specific and make it unique to yourself, but also unique to the position that you're interested in.
So kind of like what you mentioned before when we were talking about resumes, maybe have a couple of versions for the different types of positions you might be looking at, so you can easily be able to access that and put it into that online process. Fantastic. What about recommendations and references? What do we think about that?
Well, definitely reach out to that network. Again, it's all about expanding your network, making new friends, and just be honest and communicate with them. You know, I am very interested in this opportunity. They might call you. Can you make sure you give a good reference, right? It's all about communication and raising your hand.
Awesome, I love that idea. So we do have a visual that we're going to kind of share with you guys because I know we're running out of time and that time goes by so quickly when we've got such great information to share with everyone. So we're going to walk over to the board, so take a little field trip with us. It's always great to have information written down so you can see it because sometimes it's hard to remember it in the old noggin. So Sam, walk us through the resume.
Right, so resume tips, accomplishments versus job description. Just real quick, as we mentioned, be able to showcase why are you different. Provide specific examples, numbers, statistics, colors, letters, anything that will set you apart. And number 3, edit, the grammar and the spelling. It's a big deal.
Sure, and then search process, and I feel like Vanna White over here. But number 1, leverage your network. Talk to those people you know, have the same interests and passions as you, and are the companies that you're interested in. Be very strategic in that search. Don't just put your resume out into the universe and hope something happens. Really target those organizations and positions you want. And then being able to tell your story. You want to be unique, you want to be your own person, so really be good at telling your own story with that elevator pitch. Really preparing for that.
All right, awesome guys. So I think we are wrapping up. I can't believe it's already time to wrap it up, but we are wrapping up our 2020 Wine and Wisdom brought to you by Deacon Recruiting. I do want to mention that our next Wine and Wisdom event live on Facebook will be February 21st at 3:30 p.m. Be sure to come and join us because much like we did in 2019 where everything fed into the next one, 2020 is going to be the same way. We talked about resume and search opportunities today. The next one is really talking about interviewing and how to really shine when you land that interview after you've gone through these great steps that we've showcased today. So again, happy 2020 to everyone.
Cheers.
We hope these tips have been helpful for you. We sure have had a lot of fun.
Bye. Bye.